Hey everyone, I'm back with my piece. I covered it with the saran wrap. I put the CitriStrip on it to remove the old finish. Covered it with saran wrap because I was going to be gone for the day. Wasn't sure when I'd be able to get back to it, and I didn't want it to dry out. And so now I'm ready to take it off and see what's underneath. And they recommend that you use a plastic scraper instead of the metal one. I'll use both, but I'm a little bit used to using it. The caution is, and I have made this mistake on pieces, the wood gets soft when you have that CitriStrip or any varnish remover on. It softens your wood. So it's very easy to make gouges in the wood when you're scraping. Say if something's stuck and you press hard, you can easily gouge your wood. And if you've got veneer on top of your piece, you can only sand that down so much. So you want to be really careful when you're scraping it off that you're not going to gouge it. So if you're new at it, even if you're not, I'd go ahead and use the plastic scraper. I'm going to go ahead and put my glasses on, protect my eyes, and let's go ahead and see what's underneath here. I've got a bucket of water nearby that I just keep in case of an accident, or if I need to rinse my hands or my eyes or whatever, so I'll keep clean water nearby, and just take that precaution. I do have an area ready over here to put my saran wrap on. This looks like it has eaten my finish off very nicely. So I'm going to go ahead. I have a container here that I'm going to scrape the old finish into, and I will just scrape it and back it off. I'll just scrape it and back it off. So I can see on here that for the most part it's taken it off very nicely. It's collected it in my dish. And go ahead and stand around this side. And get it. And I always wear gloves when I'm doing this. I've not had the CitriStrip burn my hands, but I have had the combination of CitriStrip leftover and mineral spirits burn my fingers pretty good. I've had to get stronger gloves than just these latex ones when I'm working on bigger pieces, because I'm just exposed to it too long, and sometimes it can eat through your finish. It's scraping off nicely. Let me just give you a close-up of that finish coming off. Sometimes you can feel a little collection of it. You just go back over it and scrape it. I'm hoping to do just some short videos for you, just to give you a quick tip on how to perform a certain technique. I know sometimes even when I'm watching helpful videos and I'm familiar with a certain technique, I've got tissue stuck on me. I have a tendency to fast forward. So someone was asking me if I was taping, and yes I am. Such is our world, isn't it? Well, this came off very nicely on the sides. I'm very pleased with that. It's come off well on the top, but I can see that I am going to have to go over it with And I'm really trying not to get my back to you too much, but there's only so much. Only so much I can do with the space that I have and setting that up. Go ahead and remove these. Put my, one thing I do, I clean the top. Let me move that over for you so you could get a look at how that CitriStrip took that off. I still see some areas I'm not happy with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it with mineral spirits and a Scotch-Brite pad or steel wool. See if I can get the rest of the residue off. If I can't, I'll put another layer of CitriStrip on. And what I do, I just pour it on my piece. Take my Scotch-Brite pad and I'll just start scrubbing it. And yeah, that is getting the residue off very nicely. I'll just pour, scrub. If you have any questions about the process, something I didn't cover, sometimes I'll just do things by habit, not explaining the process. So if there's something that you have a question about, just type it in the comments and I'll try to get back and I'll show you what this looks like as soon as I get around the table. So I just continue around. Cleaning it. I'll be careful around the edges because I have already started painting it. And the edges look pretty nice. So I'll just continue to scrub. And to be honest, I'm not as happy with the Scotch-Brite pad as I'd like to be. It is gumping up a little bit on there. Clean this up so I can give you a view of what this looks like so far. And that's what we've got. So it is splotchy. So I'm going to go ahead and take a Brillo steel wool pad and I'm going to see if that helps. Now when you're dealing with steel wool, and I know this isn't an exciting video, but there are times where you just need to get that old finish off, so it does help to know the process of it. But I will go ahead and go with the grain on this. And what I was going to say is when you're dealing with steel wool on a piece, one reason it's not always my go-to and I try that Scotch-Brite pad first is because if you leave little bits of the steel wool behind, you don't get them all off, it can literally rust in your piece. So you don't want that to happen. So this is coming off better here. And sometimes what you can do too, and I feel some gumminess, so I'm going to go ahead and put some of this CitriStrip on here. And I'm going to scrub some of the areas that seem gummy. is basically how you get the old finish off. And not to paint, I mean, I will sand a piece down if I'm going to paint it, depending on what the finish is on there, what's called for. This one, I really want to stain with that antique walnut top. So when I'm done, when I'm happy with this and feel it's all off, this is what it's looking like now. I'll keep working with it until all the residue is off, and then I'll get it ready for the stain. And there's some tips and tricks to applying the gel stain. General Finishes gel stain goes on beautifully. So I do want to take advantage of doing this piece to show you several steps. I'm going to go ahead and show you later on what it's like just to put this second coat on and how quickly it goes on. But in the meantime, I'm going to finish up this top, get it ready to go, and then I'll tell you the process to get the gel stain on. So I hope this helped you, and y'all have a good day.